sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same. I done prayed that I will make it bring glory to my name.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Uncle Strib. Today, we are live from Portland. Ooh, let me fix this. I don't think this can matter. Sorry, it's my OCD. We are live from Portland, Oregon, and we got a special edition of Uncle Strib. We got my buddy here, Calvin, as we are on another trip that we got. Well, we'll just talk about our trip first, and then we can just talk about random stuff from there. But we are in Portland, Oregon. Cool trip. So I'll just let you go ahead and just start off with how it's gone so far.
It's gone pretty well, man. Got in, obviously, the first day, got some grub and everything. Pretty much just trying to just get in and just try to get settled and everything. Really didn't do too much. I mean, we obviously hit the shopping malls and everything, picked up. I got some shoes, which I'm happy. Yeah. I'm so happy, bro. Like
the Space Jam mids.
Space Jam mids.
Look those up. The Air Jordan 1 mids, Air Jordan 1 Space Jam mids.
And for people that don't watch the regular podcast with obviously me, Finis, Mitch, and Mark, we've talked about this multiple times of just how hard it is for me to find shoes and everything. So
yeah, it's size 15.
Size 15. So luckily, being in Oregon, Nike capital and everything.
Ooh, that's good. Southern Peach Lemonade.
No, that is banging. By the way, go pick you up one. It's good. Better than Snapple.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like I said, like just finding shoes for me is just so hard. So anytime I come past a size 15 and everything, and if I somewhat like it, I might as well just get it. Because if I try to go back the next day, it's probably most likely not going to be there. So, yeah, got some shoes.
And it was at the Nike. Well, obviously for those that don't know, Nike started in Oregon, not in Portland, in Beaverton. Mm-hmm. Beaverton, I believe that's how you say it. But they got the Nike stores here are great. Well, we only went to one, but just the Nike stores in Oregon are just different levels. So it was like a 2-story, security at the front door when you walk in.
The thing that's crazy about it is that there's 2 stories. The first floor is all women's.
Yeah.
Like all women's, top floor, all men. So the variety and selection is definitely there. Definitely better shoe selection just because I feel like it's in Oregon. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? But one thing I will say to y'all, if y'all ever want to go to the actual Nike store in like Beaverton, like the I think it's like the customer, I forgot what they call it.
The employee store?
Yeah, employee store. Like, just to save y'all a trip out there, if y'all do go out there, y'all have to have a Nike membership. Like, y'all have to be you have to know somebody that works at Nike to grant you access to get in there. So if you're thinking that you're just gonna go up there and slide in, it's not happening.
Oh, you looked it up?
Yeah, I looked it up and I watched several videos. That's why I was like, bro, it's some bullshit. Like, why can't I just go in there and just get some shoes, you know?
Yeah.
But the reason why is because I think everything in there is like 40 to 50% off.
Oh, discounted.
Yeah,
that makes
so
sense.
I mean, it does make sense, but yeah, you know somebody, definitely get their IDs and everything like that. Tuesday, hit the game. Wish
we got the hats.
Yeah, got the hats and everything. I wish Portland would have came out to win, to be honest.
Oh yeah. We did predictions. He took Portland to win it. They played New York Knicks, and I had Knicks by 7, and they won by 15, something like that.
And they had Jalen Brunson. That was their starting point guard. So they were down.
They started off rough.
They started off really bad, but your boy McBride came through in the clutch.
Oh, dude. Mike, we literally looked him up as he was playing, because dude was out there balling.
Like, Finis called it too. We were sitting down with it, like second quarter. He's like, look at him clamping.
Clamps.
He got like a steal, a block, and Finis over here hitting me and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, all right, bro, he might be good. Then the second, he just came out just bombing threes. I'm like, oh my gosh, who is this dude?
Yeah, he had 20 something, right? 26.
No, he had 20.
Was it 20?
He is 18 or 20.
Actually, I think 18 was right. 18's right.
But the thing about it, the reason why it's funny is because Jalen Brunson was out, which is the starter. Josh Hart comes off the bench, and McBride is like the third guard off the bench too as well. So it's kind of seeing the third man come in and fill the role is kind of cool.
Ball. What's his last name again?
McBride. Miles McBride.
Yeah, 18.
Yeah.
18. 6 for 8 field goal. So efficient. Plus minus was 17.
Mm-hmm.
Fun game though. There was a guy there that's wearing a Mellow jersey, and then towards the end they were up so much he was leaving. He goes, "Go Knicks, bing bong!" as he was leaving. It was so funny.
Y'all New York fans, man, y'all take pride in y'all sports, which I do love, but y'all be talking shit.
Oh yeah, it was great.
I love it though. I love it. You get the blood flowing and everything.
Oh, I still have to talk for the video on the Uncle Strib's Adventures for YouTube. The train.
I'm gonna let him start that shit. I'm gonna let him start it off.
So we're getting ready to head to the game, and we're staying downtown, and so pretty much everything is downtown. So we don't really have to drive nowhere because we're staying at a convention center downtown, and really to get to the arena, it's downtown as well, so it's not that far. And so we're trying.
It is far, walking distance.
Walking distance is far, but like driving, it would have been like a 5-6 minute drive straight through downtown, but. We were trying to decide what would be cheaper to do so there's literally a station to get on a public transit train that goes straight across downtown, and literally the station's right here, so we just hop on and go. So we're like, we could do that, or we could drive over there and try to find parking. You know, downtown parking gets kind of wild. It gets kind of cumbersome. So we were looking. I looked up the ticket. It's $2.50. It's $2.50 a ticket. So we're that'd be cheaper. That'd be cheaper than paying for parking. So we're like, let's do that. So we looked at the bus runs every like 10, 15-ish minutes. So we go out there, we get ticket, we get on the, I keep calling it a bus. It's like a train. It's a train. But anyway, we get on the train. It smells like absolute shit. It
like literally like bare ass crack, dog.
As soon as we got on, I immediately thought to my head, we should have drove. I literally wanted to get off the train, like, bro, let's just drive. But we already paid for the tickets. We got on there, and there was this homeless dude. And so it smelled like shit. And I thought, the crazy part, I thought it was the train, but it was this homeless dude that was on there asking people for change. His ass is out. Like he's walking by all hunched over. You can obviously tell he's on drugs. And so he comes up to me, he's like, "You got any spare change?" I was like, "No." And he walks by. As he walks by, his whole ass is just out. I'm like, oh my God. And it smells like he just shitted on himself. And it was so bad I wanted to throw up. And when he keeps going to the other side of the train, the smell kind of goes away. So I was like, oh, that's him. Mm-hmm. He smells like that. Mm-hmm. It was terrible. But on the way back, it was fine. But the train was very dirty. So on the way back, we didn't even sit down. We just stood up and we kept our hands in our pocket. We weren't touching the shit. But yeah, the game was fun. But you know, public transit, it was cheap. And then we ended up getting the car, and then we went to Applebee's. For those of y'all that know me, I be killing the Applebee's. So we got half price appetizers. I think my meal was like $8. So, well, no, it was $4 because they brought me some fries that were super cold, and I was just gonna eat them. I was gonna take the L.
Goated waitress came up to him.
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
she was like, "Are those nasty?" And you know how Finis is. Finis is the type of dude that's not gonna complain about. He's just gonna do what.
Right. I was like, they're all right.
He said they're all right. She looked at me. She said, "I'll get you some new ones."
Yeah.
The funny thing about it too, while she took the plate back, there's a dude walking up. She's like, "Hey, would you eat these?"
And then, I think it was the manager because he was in like a cowboy. He had a cowboy hat with like a leather jacket with like the lanyards. I was like, he's probably the manager. He was like, no, I wouldn't. And so she went and got me a new one, and she took the fries off the tab. So I tipped her like extra.
Whatever her name is, you goated for sure.
Yeah, my bill was $8. I think I tipped her like $7. I pretty much tipped her what the bill was.
Yeah. Other than that, man, what I will say about Portland,
be honest. You can be honest.
It's a different city. Like when you first get there, you're driving through it. You're like, oh shit, did I fuck up? Like coming here and everything, just by the scenery and everything. There's a lot of graffiti. There's a lot of trash on the street.
So many homeless people.
There's homeless
tents
people
and camps set up all across downtown.
But what I'm getting to is that the locals and everything, very, very friendly. Very, very
some
friendly
of the nicest people I've met.
So yeah, people in Portland, everything nice and everything. But like I said, if you ever come out here, don't just look at the city just by the way it looks and everything. It's nice and everything.
And if there's one thing I would say, I think if we had to redo this trip again, we probably wouldn't stay downtown.
No, especially after the conversation we had with the guy at the
cigar shop.
The cigar shop and everything. Very, very interesting guy. Had a good conversation with him too. I wanted to ask him more questions and everything, but I feel like we could have went down a rabbit hole and everything.
Yeah. So So let's work it. Let's go chronological. So after the game, we came in with the Applebee's. After that, we came back and we just chilled. Then today, this morning, we got up, went to another mall. I ended up getting keychains for all my friends back at Shoe Palace. Shout out to 1241 Shoe Palace, La Cantera. And then when we go somewhere after we went to UPS so you can mail your shoes and your poster you bought. Mm-hmm. And then we went to a cigar shop where we were sitting down. At first, it was just me, Calvin, and some dude. He didn't really talk much. And then he ended up leaving, and so it was just me and Calvin chilling. And two dudes that were regulars there, came like, hey, can we sit here with y'all? We're like, yeah, cool. And there were some cool dudes. I'm terrible with names. Do you remember their names?
One name was Kirk, and the other dude's name was...
Was that Zeke?
Zeke. That's what it was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great conversation. They were really, and then the Kurt, super humble dude.
Yeah, like I was telling you on our walk back, I'm like, that dude's probably seen some stuff in life to make him the way he is and everything.
Super humble, nice guy.
Humble dude, soft spoken and everything. Just sounds just like a dope dude just to conversate with.
A lot of wisdom too. Mm-hmm. So we went to cigar shop, we chilled, we chopped it up. I got buzzed. I had 2 fat cigars and 3 Rellos, 2 Black and Mild. No, I had 4 Rellos. I had 2 Swisher Sweets and 2 Black and Milds.
Y'all hear this,
man? I had 2 Swisher Sweets, 2 Black and Milds, and 2 Fatties. Like the ones we bought that thing was long. Pause. And then I had the fatty that we got yesterday. Mm-hmm. But
that one yesterday smoked very fast.
That one was smooth.
That one was good. The one that we bought there, that one was, I feel like I was tugging on it a little bit.
Bro, what? I thought that was just me. I'm sitting there struggling to get some smoke out of it.
Yeah. I had to keep on relighting it because it wasn't smoking at all.
Like, I think for that one, we either should have hole punched a bigger hole, because on my second one, I hole punched 2 of them into one hole, so it's bigger. That one, the ones we bought there, we probably should have cut. Yeah, because we could have drawn more on it.
Do you think it's just because it was the tobacco was like a little bit thicker than the
I think it was packed thicker for sure. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, that one was tough. And then after that, we went to Target. We got a neck pillow.
Bro, if y'all take flights, y'all know what the neck pillow does to y'all, man. It's one of the essentials you need on the plane. And for the people that don't use a neck pillow, y'all be waking up with cricks in your neck and everything. So invest in one.
They're definitely cuts if you end up with a middle seat. Yeah, for sure. Because normally if I get a window seat, sometimes I'll do my head on here, but when the turbulence hit, it'd be messing me up. But for those that don't know, if you fly Southwest, if you look where your headrest is, you can actually bend them up to where they cradle your head, so you can just lean against it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But neck pillow would for sure be better. And then we got some Febreze because we didn't want to be smelling like cancer at the airport with our clothes. So we were spraying our clothes down and stuff. And then now we're doing this. Then after this, we're actually going to go to a wings place that Kurt suggested to us. Mm-hmm. And then after that, we're just going to pack up and chill until tomorrow, because we got to drop the car off at like 7:40 in the morning, 7:30ish in the morning. Mm-hmm. But all in all, it's been a pretty lit trip, I would say.
Yeah, it's definitely been a fun trip for sure. Like I said, man, if we ever do come back out here, like, definitely got to go to the coast when I think if we do come back out here, like, it had to be like summertime or something to go out to the coast and everything. Just because I'm not trying to go out to the coast in this weather. Like, it's cold as shit. It's probably even colder on the coast and everything. Mm-hmm. So yeah, man.
I checked the forecast 2 weeks ago on Garden 615. It said it was supposed to be in the 70s, but as we got closer, obviously the weather changed up, and so it's the highest it's been was yesterday. Was the best it's been, and it was sunny. It was 52, but it was a sunny 52, and it wasn't windy, so it felt
really good.
Yeah, I took my jacket off. It felt nice, but the rest of the time, when we first got here, it was raining. Today was pretty cold, so it's been jacket weather all day. But yeah. Besides that, man. Besides that, it's been pretty lit. But that's the trip. What else? Got to get back to work.
That's one thing I'm not looking forward to. Getting back to reality and everything, especially taking 4 days off and everything like that. I hate it. I should have took off Friday. I should have.
You should have.
I should have, man.
But I feel like.
But I'm trying to save that PTO though, you know.
Yeah. You gotta save the PTO. Gotta save the PTO. But it was cool seeing Julius Randle in person. That dude, I knew he was, 6'8", 6'9". He looks bigger than that. In person.
Bro.
He looks 6'10".
Bro, his shoulders, dude. It's just he got them Dwight Howard shoulders.
He does. And he's solid too. Like he's stout. But it was cool watching that. It was really good watching that. And what else? We were trying to figure out this homeless population is
yeah,
wild,
man.
bro.
I think that's the one thing that kind of shocked me. Like right after we got out of the airport, we were taking a Uber, obviously to get the rental car, and soon as we leave the airport, man, we're going down the interstate and we're seeing all of these like tents and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, like what we get into? Get that downtown. Yeah. We start seeing the graffiti. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, oh shit. Do we make this is probably not the best thing to do right now, but I mean, man, it all ended up well and everything. It's a good trip. Nothing bad happened to us, so we're grateful for that for sure. Especially being on the West Coast, far from home and everything like that.
Very.
So, like I said, man, I have no complaints about Portland. I just wish it was hotter. But yeah, man, if y'all definitely want to take a trip out to Portland, man, I do recommend it. Definitely catch a Blazers game. Got to experience that atmosphere. And then if you do get a chance to go out to the coast, go have a day out there. So,
all right. So, what do you got? What is it? It's March.
Mm-hmm. So
what do you got planned for the next couple months in terms of just life?
Well, I know I don't know if I mentioned this to you, but I was trying to get in that leadership program with my company and everything.
No, you mentioned.
Well, it's basically like, it's like a week. It's not. I won't say it's training. It's like a week like seminar. Everything is through Zoom and everything, and it's for like a leadership program just to see. It's kind of difficult because they changed it around and everything. It used to be called Emerge, but they changed it up a little bit, and now it's called Rise. And basically, it's like high performers in the office, whatever office that you're in, whatever state. Obviously, you have to meet like your metrics, have to be tracking for contests. If you don't know what contest is, it's basically what every recruiter is trying to do, like seek out for, to get that next promotion and everything. Right. It's basically like, if you want a promotion and everything or move into a different position, you basically have to hit that and everything to be qualified or be like a candidate
to be in consideration.
Yeah.
Right.
And so right now, obviously I'm a recruiter. I'm trying to get into like more like leadership delivery. So I signed up, I put an application in for the Rise program. And like I said, it's a week seminar of just not even really talking about just like business and everything. It's just really going into, like, what makes you a good leader? Like, what things can you work on? What things do you think that, you're good at as a leader and everything, and basically build on that and everything. And from the people that I've talked to that have been through the program, is really, really eye-opening, because it's like it's like a huge group, but then you switch over to like different pods and everything like that, where it's like smaller groups, like 4 to 5 people and everything. And and I think the first day, I can't think of like the last few days and everything, but I know the first few days is like icebreaker questions and everything, really get to know your pod. And then after that, you kind of go into like just basically like your journey through tech systems, like what's the good things, what's the bad things, like what's the things that you're proud of and everything. And I think it's awesome. I think I can definitely learn a lot from it, especially people that don't sit in the Nashville area. I think the big thing too is that in obviously the recruiting world, if you're a recruiter or anything like that, it's a crazy job and everything. So a lot of times you may think that like, why the hell am I going through this right now? Don't think that you're the only person going through it, because I guarantee you there's other recruiters going through the same exact things, probably even worse. So it's kind of like count your blessings, kind of,
Right, yeah.
So that's a big thing that I'm excited here in the next few months. The office is obviously moving to Nashville, so I will not be living in Franklin anymore. Have to make a trip out to Nashville and live out there. Because the commute, not doing that.
How's the housing market been?
Bro, it's stressful. The thing that I just can't get my head around is paying that much money for rent and you don't even have like the space for it.
Yeah.
It's like you're paying $1,500 a month, including utilities, and you're living in a 500 square foot apartment. It's like I don't know, man. It's just the Nashville prices are just ridiculous right now. But I mean, that's another thing that I'm doing. Other than that, man, that's really the only big things right now. Oh, I'm going to Rolling Loud too. So
Where is that?
in Miami,
When is it?
June 20 something to the 26th.
You going by yourself?
Hell no.
Say.
No, I'm going with some
Golly.
people. I'm going with some people from work. But
Okay.
yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm looking for that. I will be at the venue that Future's at. So if y'all going, y'all might see me. Front row.
Any business ventures? In terms of like, I don't know. I know last time I think we talked about like investing money. Have you like done anything like putting your money somewhere or thought about that stuff yet?
No, I'm still doing the same thing. I still have like my like retirement savings and stuff with Edward Jones. I obviously want to increase that and everything. I just don't know when that time will be right since I'm moving and everything like that.
Right.
Another good thing that I will say is that financial wise, like obviously I have the Edward Jones account and I have like my 401k and stuff with my work. Y'all need to take advantage if y'all's company like matches your 401k. Like it does suck when you see all that money being taken out like from your paycheck and everything. But man, I'm telling you, like it's the long-term game. It's not the short-term game, and that's what I'm all about. Is the long-term. Because I know like right now it might suck, but like I'd rather deal with it right now when I'm young and rather than when I'm like 40
Trying to scramble
and by that time I'm gonna have more responsibility. So whoever, if I have kids or like a wife or whatever, I'm not trying to put them in a situation because my fuck up when I was younger. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's one financial thing, man.
The YouTube,
I've been thinking about that. I think I'm gonna start off just with gaming and everything. Me and some boys play run fives on 2K and everything. So I know I'm gonna be doing that. Just gonna test the waters to see how that goes and everything. I might venture out and maybe join this dude with some shoe game stuff. But I gotta get my stock up and everything because right now I don't think I can compete with you with the heat you got.
Oh well.
Well, you've been doing this for a minute.
Yeah, I was about to say it's taken me a minute to get where I'm at because this has been since I pretty much I didn't start aggressively increasing my collection since probably 18, maybe even 17. So it's been a hot minute of me like getting shoes. I used to get shoes once every 2-3 months because I had to save up for it. Now I'm in a better position. I work at Shoe Palace. I make more money than I did back then, so I can afford to buy them more often. But now it's easier for me to access them because when I was saving up, I was taking an L and buying a resale. So instead of buying a shoe for $185 or $125 or $135, I had to pay $250, $300. So I had to save up, and I still have to finance it, and then I would wait till I paid it off before I went and got another shoe. So it was taking me longer to actually get shoes. Now, I remember there was one run, I have to chill now, but there was one run, maybe since January, I've probably bought close to 10 shoes in the past 2 months.
Damn.
Now I'm buying mids. That's one disclaimer. I'm buying mids, so they're cheaper. They're like $125, $135, depending if you're doing regular or special edition. But there was a run. I was dropping a shoe game video every Friday. I was dropping a video. Now I gotta chill because I'm trying to save up and do stuff financially in terms of like some investing I got going on. And I'm about to open up a Roth IRA with Robinhood. Robinhood has this new section of their platform where you can actually open up a Roth IRA and they'll match whatever you contribute every year, but they'll match it with a 1% increase. So if you put in 100, they'll match your 100 and then also throw an extra $1, an extra 1%. So I'm gonna do that Roth IRA through them, and I'm gonna use that as my my baseline retirement, and then I've been investing since 2014, so I kind of got a pretty good feel for the market. So because I did have a Roth IRA a few years ago. I had a Roth IRA a few years ago, and I was looking at the performance, and I noticed that my investing I was doing on my own was outperforming my Roth IRA that I had them investing. So I was like, why am I getting charged a fee for them to manage my Roth IRA when I can outperform them myself? So I ended up liquidating all that. Obviously, because I'm not 65, I had to pay like a fee. Yeah, I paid a penalty for it, but I didn't have. It was like I think I had $1,200 in there. It wasn't much because I had just opened it, and I was only putting like small amounts in there to begin with because it wasn't through the company. It was third party, so I could just contribute it whenever I wanted to. It didn't come out of my check, so I didn't have much in there. I only paid, I think it was like 100. It was like a percentage of it. I only paid like, I think 150 to get it out. So I liquidated it. But now, because I do all my stuff through Robinhood, I'm gonna open up the Roth IRA through Robinhood, and then because the third party I was using beforehand, they didn't match. So it was just whatever I was putting in, there's managing. Now I'll put it in a Roth IRA. So if I put in 400, it's really 800 at the end of the year because they're gonna match it plus the 1%. So I think that's it. Like you said, anytime they'll match, take advantage of that because you're doubling your money without putting in double what you're putting in.
Exactly.
Which is key. So pretty much half of your retirement is going to come from your employer or whoever. If they're matching, half of that is going to come from them. Just, hey, we'll match whatever you put in.
I think the biggest thing about that too is obviously whatever company you're working through, do it through that, but then open up your own one too.
Right.
So you have like, because you just never know, man. Because this is the way that I think about it. This is how I'm planning it out right now. My 401k with my company, I'm not touching that at all until I'm 60 or whatever the age is. Now, the one that I have through Edward Jones and everything, like let's say like I'm contributing like $100 a month or whatever.
Right.
And then like if finally it gets up to like a number that I want, I might be trying to buy a house. Hey, I'm gonna go use that money because that's my personal money that I've used myself. That money that I'm using, because obviously that they're not matching it at all.
Exactly.
So I'd rather use that money instead of the
money that they're matching.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like I said, it's doubling.
Yeah,
so like
it's
why
doubling
not?
Every year.
Yeah. So like why not? So that's my suggestion for y'all, man, just to be completely honest, have two things working for you at once and everything. Contribute, I would say contribute at least like what, 5%. I know my company goes up to 10%. I don't want to do that just yet. Maybe when I start really making some good money, maybe that's when I can start doing that. But like right now, I think I'm at like 5 or 6% right now. So dude, it's growing.
Another thing about opening up your own or multiple is, I know Roth IRAs, I believe the maximum you can contribute is maybe 6,000. I think there's a max you can contribute every year per Roth IRA. So if you open up a 401k, there's only a max you can contribute to the 401k a year. Well, if you have, let's say you're in a position where you have a 401k and you max that out each year and you get a company to match it, you got that. Then you can open a Roth IRA and contribute money in there so you can max out each one you have. So let's just say for simple numbers, you have 401k max is 1,000. It's not 1,000, but to make the math simple. You have 1,000 here. But if you only have that, the max you contribute is 1,000 each year. But if you have a 401k and you got a Roth IRA and you can max out both at 1,000, you can contribute 1,000 here, 1,000 here. Total, you're maxing out. You're pretty much doubling what you can contribute, 2k for each. And then let's say both of them you get matched. That's a difference between having 1k versus 4k. Just because you're able to max out each one you have. So you could open up a 401k, a traditional IRA, and a Roth IRA. You can max out all three, and that's just gonna be more money for when you go to retire. You got a fatter pot of things that you can use in terms of like living off of or whatever. But
yeah, man. When I retire, I'm trying to have $1 million in the bank.
Oh yeah,
I'm trying to have $1 million in the bank. Nothing short, nothing less.
And what's great about hitting that mill mark is when you hit a mill, depending on what lifestyle you're trying to live, when you hit a mill, and let's say your interest that you get on your investment is 6%. So 6% of a mill is what, 60,000? That means what you try to do is you try to live on the interest, not the principal. Because you have a mill and you take out from the principal, eventually that mill turns into less money over time. But if you have a mill and you live off the 60,000 that's paying you, that means you're gonna get 60K every year, and the mill never drops. Right? And obviously it's gonna change, because some years you might make 5%, some years you might make 7%, but you'll have about a range of 50 to 70,000 that you can live off of. So the more money you have in there in principal, the more you can play with. So if you get it up to 2 mil, then you're gonna have at 6%, you're gonna have 120,000 that you're getting paid every year, and it's gonna be money that's sustainable. And that's how people can live off of a set principal and not have to touch that principal, and every year you're getting a check. And there's also different advantages, because 401k gets taxed when you take out money. A traditional Roth IRA, it doesn't get taxed when you put money in, but when you take money out, it gets taxed. That's why I prefer Roth IRAs, because the money, when you take money out in a Roth IRA, it's 100% tax free.
Yeah.
Because you'll pay on the money that you put in, that gets taxed. So when you go 65, you retire, and you pull money out, 100% tax free, you'll see all of that, all that money. That's why I lean more towards a Roth IRA, but there's different strategies for a bunch of different things. And that's just me being on YouTube, going down rabbit holes of how those things work.
I haven't gone down a rabbit hole. I just have a base understanding. Now,
that's all you really need. But
I mean, yeah. I mean, now once I start making, like, there's gonna be a point in time I'm gonna start making like some real money, and then that's when I'm gonna be like, all right, let me settle down, figure out what the best option is to do and everything,
what
just to make my numbers, like what I need to like track for and everything, just the simple stuff like that. So yeah, man, it's a lot of stuff in the bag right now. Just got to execute on the things I need to do.
Now, this is getting completely off topic or changing topics. March Madness is coming up. I need 4 teams from you that you think are going to make some noise in the March Madness tournament. It doesn't have to be who you think is going to be the final 4, but just 4 teams that you think, people that are listening that are going to watch the March Madness, that you think are going to make a splash or make some noise or maybe overachieve in the tournament.
I'm going to have to put Alabama up there. I'm going to have to put Alabama. Like, and the thing about them, it really comes down to their defense. Because they like, if they play great defense, they're most likely going to win the game. If their defense is slipping, it's going to be a shootout.
Are they a defensive team? Do they normally play good defense? Because this guy is, when it comes to NCAA basketball, this is the guru. This is the NCAA basketball guy. Whenever I have a question about NCAA basketball, this is the guy I go to.
And this is the thing, man. And I hate to say this, it really depends how good Brandon Miller plays. If he's not scoring, bro, if Brandon Miller is not scoring, if Javon Quinterly is not scoring, there's going to be some issues, man, just on that end. So as long as Brandon Miller shoots the ball decent, team defense and everything is good, I think they can make some noise, definitely. And that's an SEC team. Like,
right.
I'll support that any day.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm tired of seeing the ACC.
Now, I said this a while ago, I think 2 years ago on the podcast. SEC basketball is starting to step up.
It's really
stepping up.
Yeah.
I'm actually, like I said, it's hard. I keep up with NBA, all 30 teams. So it's hard for me to also try to keep up with a lot of the NCAA. But I do try to keep up with all of the SEC schools, because Mizzou had a good year this year. Mizzou played well. Tennessee played well this year. I know Alabama, LSU, Tennessee, or not LSU, but LSU played well. No?
Girls did. Girls are playing phenomenal.
I watched the girls play. I've actually been watching a good handful of women's NCAA this year too. I think that's how I was thinking the women's. Alabama, UT, Mizzou. How's Kentucky?
They're not.
They fell off, right?
I'm gonna say this: if I offend you, a Kentucky fan, I don't give 2 shits. Calipari is not a good coach. He's a good recruiter. He's a great recruiter. He is not a good coach.
Hot take.
If you're okay, and I'm gonna point out some facts. Look at all the guards that have went to the NBA from Kentucky. it's been a lot of guards, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The thing, what I'm saying is that he knows how to get them to the league. He doesn't develop them into the college player. You know what I'm saying? So like the traditional, like, oh, you stay, 3 years, 4 years, and everything like that. That he has not had a star player that has done that. That stayed all like 3 years and everything.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate. To that point, is that his fault? Because if he's getting these stars, I assume he has some type of developmental skills in developing college players, and they're so good that 1 year they're one and done. Is that a knock on him as a coach?
It's not a knock on him as a coach, but you got to think about it. He's on contract. When's the last time has he won a championship or got to like the Sweet 16 or Elite 8?
Has it been that long?
It's been a minute because you got to think.
How many SEC champions? But they're constantly winning. Obviously, besides the past few years, they're constantly winning SEC championship.
They had the blue blood title though. You know how blue blood schools are in basketball.
Yeah,
they got to get the top performers and everything every single year.
But I feel like they've been pretty solid the past 20 years.
Are we talking? Okay, this is where I cut it off. Like when they started like messing up. It was, what year was it? It was the year when they had Nerlens Noel on their team,
right?
And they went to the NIT, and I forgot what year that was. Everything up to that has not been a smooth sail for Kentucky basketball and everything like that. In my opinion, a blue blood school, Calipari, I just don't think he's. That's just my thought.
Let me ask you this. If they weren't considered a part of the Blue Bloods, do you think, okay, so they're part of the Blue Bloods, which means they're held to this high standard in terms of NCAA basketball, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in general, take away the high standard, in general, the whole universe of college basketball,
mm-hmm.
you would say outside of the Blue Blood, in terms of the overall basketball, they're a solid organization in terms of college basketball.
Yeah.
You just look at in general,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So
I think it's the tag. Okay, you're making something. You're bringing light. I think it's the tag of a blue blood school is why
he's not. He in terms of that high of a standard, he's not meeting that standard up there. It's like when Bama loses 2 games in a season, it's considered to be like the worst Bama team ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I got you. I can respect that.
I had to clear it up a little bit, but yeah, man. Okay, back to it. Okay, Alabama. I would love to see Duke just because John Shire. I like him as the new head coach.
The new head coach, right?
And I think that's a great story.
They played decent, right?
They played decent. They've had some games where they also have had injuries and everything. I think Tariq Whitehead, Tariq is something like that. One of their top recruits this year, he was out hurt, so that definitely messed them up just from a production standpoint. But I think it'd just be a cool story. Coach K retired, John Shire, the next man in line, comes in, wins a championship. Great narrative, great story.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Story, yeah.
And I think that, and John Shire is a good coach too, and he's a well-known name, and obviously college basketball and in the NBA too as well. I would love to see him go to the NBA and see how he would coach in the NBA if he does get that opportunity and everything. Third, Alabama, Duke. I'm putting Houston up there.
Houston. Now, how has Houston been this year?
Houston's they've been. I think if they're not number one right now, like in the college top 25 rankings or whatever, if they're not, they were number one at one point. I don't know if they lost a game since then, but I think they did lose. They were probably bumped down to 3 or 4, maybe.
Okay.
I can see them. You talk about a fucking defensive team, man. Like
they
talking, communication, bro. And yeah, that team's pretty solid. A few years ago, they won. You remember Houston won it a few years ago.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Just a solid defensive team, man. I got to go SEC with this one. I'm gonna go Arkansas.
I have followed some Arkansas.
Arkansas, dude.
They were good last year too, right? That was last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're
some Arkansas.
Look up their lineup, bro. They are long. Pause. Dude, like their point guard, 6'5", shooting guard, 6'6". I think their wings are like 6'7", 6'8". Like they're all and they're athletic too. So they run up and down the court and everything. they got a dude that's probably going to be a top 10 pick. If not a top 10 pick, it would probably be a lottery pick. I forgot his last name. It's like Nick something. Hella good dude. Crazy good. But yeah, man, that's my pick.
So you
Alabama, Duke, Houston, and Arkansas.
So 2 SEC teams in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think, to be honest, I really think I just don't see the ACC. Like, obviously, I put Duke in there because I like Duke and everything, but I don't see an ACC team winning it this year. I really don't.
Now, give me dark horse team. Potential like Cinderella story.
I don't know what schools, like all the schools that are in the tournament. I have to look at the bracket and everything. There's so many teams. I will say a school to not sleep on, UConn.
Men's UConn.
Mm-hmm. Matt Trudeau, used to work with him at Hoop Group when I did my internship in New York and everything. He is the graduate assistant over there right now, currently on the team.
Right.
So, I don't know if you'll see this, Matt, but shout out to you, dog. I know your boy's been working. So, but I think that's a dark horse team, man. But obviously, I have to look at the bracket and see what else. But I think UConn can definitely make a run. I mean, they have a good like tradition and everything.
Right.
Definitely would love to see them get back into the talks and everything like that. Because I don't know anybody else that came from there but Kimba. Like as far as names and everything. Obviously, there's what's his name? He was the head coach at Central Connecticut with Matt. He was the head coach while Matt was over there. Daryl something. He played with LeBron when he was with the Cap. Daryl, I forgot his last name.
It's not Williams, is it?
It's Daryl or Darrell. I don't know. I'll figure it out after the podcast.
Okay.
It's gonna bug me, but yeah, man. I think UConn could be a team. I don't know what other team. I don't think Purdue's gonna get far.
Aren't they? They're top 5 though.
They're top 5, but have you noticed, like in college basketball, it gets down to like how your guards play and everything.
Right.
Their guards have literally sucked so bad as they got into like conference play and everything. You can't rely on your big man to score all your points, bro.
Not today's game.
You can't do that.
Not today's game.
Granted, Zachy is a big motherfucker, 7-foot dude. But they're gonna figure that how to stop him at some point. Like, I mean, it's easier to stop a big man than a guard. Because if a big man, only thing they gotta do, you just gotta push them out the circle and then make them face up and put the ball on the floor if they can't dribble. But where a guard is just like, you just gotta pest the hell out of them. You gotta be annoying basically. But like I said, I don't see Purdue doing nothing. I mean, they might make the Sweet 16. I don't think they make the Elite 8.
Hot take, y'all heard it here first.
I really don't. Like,
Uncle
it's just I'm just so big on like, dude, you cannot make your big man the primary scorer. Now, you fast forward to the NBA, Jokic and everything, you can do that because
he's also an outlier.
Yeah,
he's an outlier. He's gonna be the first big to average a triple double, right?
Is that true?
I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere he's gonna be the first big man to average a triple double.
If that's, I thought Joel was gonna do that. Nah, not Joel. Joel's more of a
no, because Joel doesn't get the assists.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Because I believe he's right now. Jokic is averaging like 25, 10, and 10, or 25, 10, and 11, or something like that.
That's crazy numbers from a big man.
A true center, too. Like, he's not like a stretch 5. He's a true center averaging 25, 10, and 10.
The thing about it, though, like, he can literally do anything.
Yeah.
Like, he can put the ball on the floor. For a dude that big to make the moves he does, like this unorthodox
and
moves.
And it's controlled. Because it's slow, but it's so controlled and precise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's probably,
It's kind of like Luka's game in a way. Like, Luka's like not the most fastest, not the most athletic, but like he knows angles.
Every step is with a purpose.
Yeah, he knows angles. His shot release isn't quick at all. So when you see him play and everything, I'm just like, how does he do these moves and get his shots off? Because he's not quick.
That step back he does, it's like you see it. Because I went to the Dallas game. I'm in the stands. I see it come. I'm sitting there like, he's getting ready to step. He's lulling him, they'll lull him to sleep, and he's gonna hit that step back. I'm in the stands, step back. He's about to hit step back. He does the step back. Now, obviously, guarding is different because he can also get past. You got to respect both. But like you said, every step's with a purpose, and he always gets the shots off, even though you know it's coming.
Yeah, I don't know. And I don't know if he covers a lot of ground when he does the step back, too, as well.
He doesn't. I paid attention to it to see, because usually guys that will hit step, especially shorter guys, because Luka's a little taller. Shorter guys, they'll cover, like Chris Paul, his steps back, he covers ground, because when he's being guarded by a 7-foot center, or
he has to get the ball over. He
has to get that much space to get the ball off. So he covers ground. Luka's, maybe a foot back into the side at an angle, and that's all he needs for that space. Because he does have a high angle arch on the shot. Since we're on NBA, same kind of question. Give me your top 2 from the East, top 2 from the West, and your dark horse from the East, your dark horse from the West. And I mean, like top 2, who you think is going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals, Western Conference Finals, and who are the 2 dark horse teams from each side that you see could make a run, kind of how Miami did that year in the bubble?
Let me get my phone. Let me get my phone.
He got to look up the team. Is it charged?
Yeah, it's charged.
Okay.
Yeah, it's charged.
Because remember, during the bubble, nobody had Miami going to the finals that year.
Yeah.
You talk about, and I said on Guard 615, I said, watch out, Jimmy Butler's on fire right now. When it comes to playoffs, he's a baller. And I said, I won't be surprised if Miami makes the finals. And lo and behold, they made the finals.
All right, we're going to start out East. Bro, the only teams I really think out of the East are the top 3.
So who's Eastern Conference Finals?
It's gonna be between the Bucks, Celtics, and 76ers.
I need 2.
You need 2?
I need 2.
All right, I'm gonna go Bucks just because Giannis. Joel's been on a tear, man. But if Jalen and Jason get like this, it's over.
They're playing fantastic.
It's over. Oh, okay, I'm gonna go Bucks Celtics.
Bucks Celtics, dark horse out of the East.
Damn, I'm gonna have to go Knicks probably. I'm really gonna have to go with the Knicks.
I think the reason I have Knicks in my dark horse team as well, and the only reason why I have Knicks in my dark horse team is not anything offensive. They play team defense. They play team defense. That rotation we saw last night. First of all, we know Dame. Dame got his 38.
But it was a tough 38.
He had to work, not for every basket, because he had some screens where he got off scot-free or like some well-drawn-up plays from the coach. But when it was mano-a-mano, man-on-man, they made him work for every single point when it was just straight-up man-on-man.
They're going to use McBride a lot, I feel like.
Yeah.
They're going to have to.
I honestly think he could be there. I was watching his footwork in the game. I haven't seen a guard with that level of footwork since Victor Oladipo before his injury. Like, you talking about defense, or when Westbrook was playing good defense, on-ball defense, footwork phenomenal. And I think the way they rotate and the way they communicate defense, I think that alone could get them deep into the playoffs. And you also got a guy like freaking, you got a guy like, obviously, Brunson and Julius Randle, which besides last game, Julius Randle's been on a tear for 30-point games the past 2 weeks. So you get him, like, if you get him on that run of that, offensively, I think it take care of business because the defense is going to turn into offense. Now, West, I need 2 and a dark horse.
The West is hard, man.
It's always.
The West is hard.
It's always tight. Hell, you got one game difference between the 6th and 10th seed. Lakers are 8th now? 9th?
10th.
10th still? Did they lose last night?
Maybe.
They had to have lost last because they were 9th during the game yesterday. Had to have been.
It is a dogfight. You are not lying. 6 through 10 right now. It's literally like, it's either you're 1 game behind. It's literally just 1 game behind.
Lakers are 2 games behind 5th place. If Lakers go on a win streak, if Lakers win 3 straight, anybody from 5 to 9, lose 1. Lakers are 5th.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let me see. I'm gonna put Warriors up there already off the rip.
Not even as a dark horse.
Hmm?
No, I'll get. Go ahead.
What?
I'll ask when you finish. So you got Warriors.
I got
and
Warriors.
This is Western Conference Finals. Warriors and who?
This shit's so hard. This shit is so hard, bro. I'm torn between the Nuggets and Clippers.
Clippers
I think the Clippers could.
as the 6th seed.
I think they could.
You know what? I'm not mad at that because Kawhi's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Paul George, they're healthy now.
Mm-hmm.
Because Kawhi actually missed a good amount of games, and Westbrook's been playing phenomenal. For the
I mean, and the thing about that, wait till Westbrook starts getting his feel and everything, man. Like, just wait for that.
This is the best start Westbrook has had on a team since OKC, basically. Because usually, whenever he got traded to a team, it would take him a while. He has immediately fit into the Clippers system.
And I think too, it's the thing is that he's played with Paul George before.
There's already some kind of chemistry there.
Yeah, and then Kawhi, like, I feel like he's just an easy guy to play with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He didn't have to be ball dominant.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Well,
go.
he doesn't have to be.
So
And they also play great team defense.
Mm-hmm.
They play great team
I
defense.
think the thing too that helps them out is that they have Russell that is obviously basically a two-way player. Like he can play.
Yeah,
he
plays great on ball defense.
But then you have your wings in Kawhi and
George.
And George. Bro, you can
Two-way
switch
players.
that. You can switch any screens on that. Like it is, they can do some noise if they want to.
And, what's his name, man?
Terrence Mann.
He plays
playing good.
He played good defense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now my dark horse. I know a lot of people gonna hate this. I'm gonna say Suns. If KD is healthy. If KD is healthy.
I forgot KD's on the Suns.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're grade 2 sprain. They're saying he might miss part of the playoffs too.
That's what I'm saying. Like
If he's available.
Okay, yeah, okay. I'm gonna say this.
You know what my dark horse team is?
Kings.
Lakers.
Of course.
No, think about it. Lakers have found a way to move from 13th to 10th without LeBron. AD is playing like the top 5 AD we know. And he's also gone this long without getting injured. This is a milestone for the Lakers, for AD. He's gone this long without getting injured.
Mm-hmm.
If he can stay healthy, which I know it's a big if. I understand. I know that's a big if. Right? But if he can stay healthy till LeBron gets back, you get a healthy LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
You get a healthy AD. You got that new Reeves playing where Vanderbilt. For some reason, that young supporting cast with the veteran core.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think they could be and then that's the point of a dark horse team. You know, if they don't make it, nobody's. But a dark horse, you get that team healthy, you gotta watch out for them.
Dude. Okay, if the Suns thing doesn't pan out, can I just have a backup?
Yeah, because the whole health thing.
I feel like the Mavericks are right there almost.
You
dude.
think so?
I think they're right
Kyrie,
there.
I forgot that trade.
I think they're right there.
And they had because Luka and Kyrie haven't been playing much.
Mm-hmm.
So, last game they were both out.
Mm-hmm.
You get Kyrie and Luka back out there, like I can see that.
And the thing about it, you got to think about it. The past 2 years, when they're in the playoffs, it has gone to 7-game series.
It has. It's been competitive.
All off of majority of Luka.
Yeah, it's been competitive. They've been competitive for sure.
So, man, and the thing about it, too, I think offseason, if they get a primary, like if they get like a defender, a true like a 3-and-D type of dude, I think they're sky's the limit for them and everything. But yeah, that'll be my dark horse team if the Sun stuff does not pan out. Oh, and the reason why I said the Warriors because Andrew Wiggins is out right now.
Oh, he is out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they get him back. It's gonna be a problem.
Oh my God, I just thought about this. Steph, Clay, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Gary Payton the third, the second. It's not even.
He's hurt, right?
He's hurt. No, they did an MRI when they traded him and everything. They did.
Oh, he failed his physical.
Yeah, they failed it. Yeah. So if he gets back out there, that's energy off the bench. Yeah, man. You know how the Warriors are.
Yeah, you can never count him out.
Steph
has that Brady effect.
Yeah.
As long as he is out there playing, you can never count. You can't count him out until it hits 0 and they've lost.
Think about when they go small on the court, dude. If they ever do this lineup, like I said, Steph, Clay.
They did they won with the small lineup last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a small lineup, and they were seated middle of the pack in the middle of the run before they won it. They weren't even like a high seed.
That's the thing, dude. You have 3 shooters that can literally pull from anywhere. And then you have Andrew Wiggins, just an athletic dude out there, just getting rebounds and putbacks. I mean, it's
defense.
I just don't know how you beat that team, especially how the NBA is now. Shit, man, y'all can be. It can be a tied game, and next thing you know, y'all down by 12 off of 4 shots.
Oh yeah, easily in a matter of a minute and 30 seconds.
Exactly. You look up, they calling timeout, and you looking at the coach like, "What happened?" He looking at y'all like, "Y'all know what happened. Y'all ain't playing D." But yeah, that's what I got for the NBA.
Okay, all right. Now, let's see.
Would you like to look at the standings to make your predictions?
Oh, you want me to do mine?
Yeah. Because I know college basketball, you don't pay too much about.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna know. Honestly, I'm not too mad at yours. But yeah, I'm not too mad at yours. I think that was good, because I think Denver, they're playing too.
I feel like you're playing too good
too early.
Yeah, that's what
they're playing too good too early,
and that's why well, I mean, I did take the Bucks too, but like Giannis is.
Well, yeah, Bucks is
a
a different
different
beast. It's different.
Yeah,
it's an outlier team.
Mm-hmm.
And they also play great defense with Drew Holiday. And then Chris Middleton's been hurt, and they're still number 1, and that's their second option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Bobby
exciting.
Portis too. I love Bobby Portis, man. I love him.
He also like he saw a ghost. All right. Well, I feel like I always ask this question, but you kind of answered it. But I was gonna ask, what are your next steps?
What you mean next step? Like just.
Life. I mean, you kind of answered it with the whole leadership thing, but
yeah. Are you talking like long term?
We can talk long term.
Long term.
You kind of already hit on the short term.
Long term, I want to move out to the West at some point.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I feel like that's just. I've been out. This is actually my 3rd time on the West Coast, 2 times in Arizona, and I mean, I just like it. And the same thing too is just like I've been in the South majority of my life. I think it's just time to branch out a little bit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like what Mitch is doing. Like, you know, he moved out to California and everything. He's like, hey, like, I know I'm probably not going to be out here for long. Like,
right.
I may move back and everything. I think that's kind of the thing I'm on right now, man. I just want to I don't
see
have
what's out there.
Yeah, like I'm not dating anybody. I don't have any kids. So it's just like, I can do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I definitely want to move out west and everything. Arizona is definitely one place, but I want to see a few more states before.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did it for college. Is I knew I wanted to go to college outside of Tennessee just because I've lived in Tennessee my whole life, and I just wanted to live somewhere else just to know what it's like somewhere else. So obviously, I lived in Missouri for 5 years. Now I'm in Texas. This is be my going on my 4th year in Texas, and then. Eventually, I'm trying to get back to Nashville, but I mean, when I graduate here, I mean, I might have to go somewhere else to build my resume before I head back to
make
Tennessee
it like before
long term.
Yeah, I feel that.
But yeah, that's kind of how I did that in terms of school. Now, I will say, I love San Antonio, but.
You don't see yourself living there, like
no,
actually, like settling down?
I could.
You could?
I could. The money was right. It for me, it would take so much for me not to try to make it back home. Like my end game is Nashville, Tennessee. That's where I want to end up. But in between there, I'm open to staying somewhere medium term. So maybe if I stayed in San Antonio for 5 or 6 years, really got my feet wet and understood how universities work from a professor standpoint, and then using that knowledge I gained as leverage to try to make my way back to Nashville. So I definitely am open to, if University of Oregon was talking about the money was right, I wouldn't mind, whatever. But the end game is back to Nashville because that's where my heart's at. It's home.
Yeah, my heart's not there right now.
I noticed.
But I mean,
that's just me though. Teach their own,
I mean, not to say that, like I said, I'll probably, if I did move out to Arizona and everything, I don't know, man. I don't want to speak into the future and say yeah, I'm gonna stay there, but who knows, man? I might go out there for 2 years, 3 years, be like,
you don't
I'm
like
cool.
it. Or,
no. I'm cool on it. I've got out of Tennessee for a few years and everything. The experience. I got the experience, and then might just come back home just because I know everybody, all my friends and everything are.
You're staying in Phoenix.
You think so?
When we went to Phoenix, I could tell.
Damn.
When we went, I could tell by your aura. If you move to Phoenix, you're never coming back. There's nothing wrong with that.
He might be right. The thing about it is that I'm literally on the other side of the United States.
Oh yeah.
It's just now if it was I was living in Atlanta, I can visit y'all anytime I want. It's
right.
a 4-hour drive, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We used to put a day on it, a day and a half, driving. No, bro. But I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see here in the future. So
to each their own, man. You gotta live where you enjoy living for sure.
Yeah.
And for me, that's Nashville. Well, Middle Tennessee area. Because ideally, I want to live I low-key want to live off of 840. I want to live in between Murfreesboro and Spring Hill. Because I don't like the whole city thing. Because my dream school is Middle Tennessee State. So if I can find a nice house in the middle of nowhere with all that land off of 840, kind of in the middle where it only takes me 15 minutes to get back home or 15 minutes to get to university, that's my ideal where I want to live. Okay.
Oh my God.
Bless you.
Thanks. But we all have plans, but that doesn't mean it's gonna pan out that way. But
yeah,
I feel like I'm a pretty good guy. If I set my mind on something, I pretty much get that shit done some way somehow.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm not about that city life, so I wouldn't mind being ducked off in the middle of nowhere, with no homeowner association, so I can build this massive complex a part of my house, a basketball court, football, a indoor facility, and a fat ass gym just to myself.
He would literally never go out. I'm talking about literally, it'll be get up, go to work, come home. I got everything that I need.
I'm gonna have a recovery room. I'm gonna have a smoothie or shake bar, next level shit. That'd be the dream. That'd be the dream. So, but next up we believe we're set on LA, right? So next trip we have LA. That's gonna be in November. Anything you're looking forward to for that one? Or how do you think that trip's gonna be? If you could guess.
I have a feeling, based on Mitch, what he's saying, it's probably going to be the same thing we said about Portland and everything.
Yeah, we're not staying in LA.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
I know that for sure. But we're going to get there, and we're going to be what the hell? This is not what we be seeing on TV and everything.
At all.
Just by the way Mitch describes it and everything, he says you go there, you take your pictures, you get the hell out. So, other than that, I think it's going to be a smooth trip. Obviously, I hope the weather's going to be pretty nice around that time and everything.
November, yeah.
Didn't you go down in November?
No, I went in June in the summer.
Oh, yeah, definitely better.
But I feel like November would be good because it's LA, so it's summer year round, but it's gonna be cooler.
Yeah,
it won't be so hot.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing too is just seeing the beach.
Oh yeah.
I think I just get in this happy place when I see the beach, man. I feel like you can't be a pissed off person if you at the beach.
Or it'd be hard to.
Yeah. Obviously the food, I'm really gonna enjoy that out there because I know they got some good food out there. I think just seeing just California. I feel like that's something that everybody.
You've never been to Cali, right?
I've never been to Cali.
That's right.
I've never been. So yeah, I really don't know what to expect, man. I'm just kind of optimistic about it. Just whatever happens, happens. In good sense.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I think it'd be fun. All of our trips are fun so far. Before we close out, I want you to give. I feel like a lot of the stuff we talked about last time, but it's been a while and we got new listeners and people watching.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to give. It could be on anything: life, career, whatever. 3 pieces of advice that you would give to somebody that's listening or watching.
I'm bad at this. Comparing yourself to somebody else, I think that's really, really a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, like, the situation I told you that I'm kind of in right now.
Right,
like,
right.
Comparing myself and everything.
Yeah.
Like, when you start doing that, you start kind of getting pissed off that things didn't work out the way you wanted to.
Especially
and then
when that other person is getting handed things.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that. And then when you start to get pissed off, you're not rational thinking. You're just thinking off of emotion.
Right.
And that's the worst thing to do, especially when you're comparing yourself. So that's the first thing I would say. Second thing, shit, man. Whatever job you're in or whatever, if you want to move up, closed mouths don't get fed. Speak up. Say what
There
you
you
want to
go.
do. Like, seriously, say what you want to do. Like, oh, I want to do this in the next few years. Cool. Talk to whoever your manager is.
Figure out what you
Figure it
gotta
out
do
what
to
you
get
got
that.
to do. Map it
Mhm.
out and execute that shit. And the thing about it too, I feel like I know a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. I feel like, yeah, that's cool and all, but like, do you actually have a plan? Like how
Right.
to execute? Like,
Mhm.
it's not like, oh, I'm gonna start out in this place and I'm gonna end here. It's like, no, you gotta go in phases. Like, all right, break it down. Phase 1, what do you gotta
Right.
do? Phase 2, phase 3, so on
Right.
and so forth and everything. Third thing, don't let nobody tell you can't do shit.
Oh yeah.
Don't let nobody tell you can do shit. Because the way that I think, if somebody tells me I can't do something, that makes me more inclined to go prove your ass wrong.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, oh, you doubted me? Bet, all right. So, I'm a big person on just betting on myself and everything. So those are 3 advices that I would give to anybody, just life, work, just general things that I just try to live by. You
Right.
know?
Okay.
So, sounds basic, but it's a little bit more context within it. You know? So,
Man, I'll give 3 pieces of advice. Number 1, because I've been actually preaching on this to people that know me, especially at work. I talk about it all the time. Financial literacy.
mhm.
Understand how money works, respect money, and I think it's never too early to start investing your money or putting your money towards something that's going to set you up.
Do you agree with the term pay yourself first?
If you do it right, yes.
Okay.
If you do it right, yes. But there's a lot of different strategies. Pay yourself first, pay yourself. Now, what do you mean by pay yourself first?
Like,
'Cause there's different interpretations of that.
see, that's where it kind of gets dicey a little
Yeah.
bit. You know what I'm saying? Let's say, like, I don't know, like for my example, I work in a salary job, but I get commission and stuff. Like, make sure you take out your commission, like your commission checks and everything, basically paying yourself, saying like, hey, like I work for this money, I'm putting it in my savings account, I'm not touching it or anything
Right.
like that. That's what I determine, like paying yourself.
Right. So
you
like,
know?
so pay yourself like for the future.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Definitely. Or like, I know some people's interpretation of pay yourself first is when you make money, instead of buying this fancy watch you want, pay yourself first. Take care of your bills. Take care of the things you got to take care of, whether it's rent, insurance, yada yada. That's paying yourself to take care of that first. And then if you got fun money or leftover money, then you can go get that watch if you have the money for it, right? But yeah, for sure. But it's never too early to start investing. I started investing when I was, I don't know how old I was, 2014, 19, I guess, right? I didn't know what I was doing. So I didn't really know what I was doing, but all I did was download Robinhood, got to YouTube, I educated myself, And YouTube is such a powerful tool. Literally, most of the stuff that I know, I just absorb from watching YouTube from reliable sources. Not just any YouTube, but like if you go on YouTube, there are doctors or there are people that are professional finance people that are dropping all this free knowledge on a free platform. YouTube costs you no money. I mean, if you're paying for the premium, whatever, but it doesn't cost you any money to get on YouTube and educate yourself. And all it takes is literally, and I understand when I was 19, I was making less than 20,000 a year. I was making less, like 18,000 a year, right? Which is not shit. All it takes is you get a paycheck, if you can only put away $5, Robinhood lets you put away $5. Put away $5 into something, or even if it's $1 a week, something, start that. So when you get older down the road, that shit will compound. As you go up in life, in your career, and you make more money, don't increase your lifestyle off rip.
Thank you for saying that, man.
That's the biggest thing. If you're living in a lifestyle where you're making $18,000 a year and your means is $18,000 a year, when you get that promotion and you're making $30,000 a year, wait a little bit. Take some time to stay at that $18,000 a year, and that difference you're making, save some of that. You can splurge a little, maybe buy yourself something, but don't increase your lifestyle to where you're living $30,000 a year, because now you're back at that same net of, let's say, your paycheck to paycheck $18,000. Don't get a promotion to $30,000 and then be paycheck to paycheck for $30,000. Take your time, sit at your same means at $18,000, and put some more money aside. Then you have more money to go do things. You still go do things or whatever, but keep your lifestyle. Maybe you can bump it up to $20,000 a year, bump it up a little bit, but keep enough to where you can start putting more money away. And then after a few years, when you got money away, then you can increase your lifestyle. You get the next promotion to $50,000 a year. Wait, just hold on a sec, put more money aside, because down the road, when that shit starts to compound, you'll be bringing in money. Next thing you know, your investing is going to bring you in money that you can actually contribute to your income. If you don't know, I'll just say this real quick. If you have no idea on how to invest or what to invest in, download Robinhood. We're not sponsored by Robinhood. No. I've just been using it since I started, and it's a great tool. Look up VTI. It's the Vanguard Trust Index. I believe the T is trust, but it's basically an ETF. It's the Vanguard Total Stock Market ETF. What that means is, if you put $1 into VTI, that means that dollar is distributed between the entire stock market of, I believe it's America. It's the entire American stock market. So, oh shit, Westbrook. Thought
that boy was about to take off.
Yeah. So that means you own a little piece of every publicly traded company in the stock market. And if you just do that, or just put your money into that, it's the most diverse portfolio you could possibly have, because it's literally every stock market.
Is that like a mutual funds almost?
Kind of. It's an index fund.
Okay.
So it's every publicly traded company in the world is under this ETF. So when you put $100 in, that $100 gets splits up by percentage into every company in the stock market. Now, what that does, there is a caveat. What that does means if the overall stock market goes down, that ETF goes down. But over a course of 10 years, the stock market has gone up on average of like 6 to 8% a year. So it's safe, it's diverse. And if one industry goes down, let's say tech goes down, but you don't have all your money in just tech. So if tech falls, your money might fall a little bit, but it's not gonna
spread out over different.
Exactly, spread out over all 12 sectors in our economy. So just ETF, I tell my buddy Paul, bro, whenever you get a chance, $10, just put it into VTI. Just put it into VTI. Over time, it's going to pay you back, and it's safe. It's probably the safest and most diverse you can get. I'll say that. That was a long rant for my first thing, but just invest your money for the future, right? Roth IRA, 401k, get on YouTube, educate yourself.
I will say one thing about that. If you are going to invest, I feel like tech companies are really good to invest in.
Yeah, right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right now. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents.
Be careful. I believe there are tech ETFs that you can invest in. And another thing with ETFs, so index funds, when you trade, you have to trade full shares. So like VTI, I think it's like around $200 right now. It fluctuates. But if you're doing an index fund, you have to buy a full shares. You have to buy $200 at a time, or whatever that price is at that full share. But an ETF, you can put $1 in. Now you're only gonna have like that 0.01% if it's worth $200, $300. But you can just put partial shares, and over time you'll get to a full share. So what I do right now, I think I have like every 2 weeks $8. I have a bunch of different things, but $8 goes into each stock I have every 2 weeks, because that's all I can really afford right now. But over time, I have like 1.3 shares of BTI because it's like $200 something. But eventually you get to multiple shares. Just put in what you can put in. It doesn't have to be a full share. But do that. My second piece of advice, and it's pretty much what you said. If you have a goal for something, don't just talk about it. Come up with a plan to execute it. You want to have $1 million in your savings or $1 million in your 401k. Literally sit down. You're gonna have to do the math to figure out how much you need to put aside.
You're gonna have to sacrifice. I know you don't want to hear that. You'll have to sacrifice something.
You have to sacrifice. But if you got to get a promotion to get to that, what do you have to do to get a promotion? Communicate with your bosses. They'll tell you, hey, if you want this promotion, you need to hit this, hit this, hit this, yada, yada. I'm sure they'll love that you're communicating about, hey, I want to move up. What do I need? Don't say I want to move up. Let me get it. I want to move up. What do I need to do to be put into consideration to move up, to get a raise or promotion, whatever it is? One thing I can't stand is when people talk about wanting something and put no action towards it. That's I'll hear people, oh, I want to do this, I want to do this. And then over time, I'm like, what are you doing?
It's like the thing that I say to a lot of people, and I heard this multiple times. It's like somebody is like, your boss tells you to go do something. You're going to go do it, right?
Right.
Like, most likely you're going to do it.
Yeah.
But you go home, oh, I want to start, I don't know, working out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's kind of like a self-respect thing, you know?
Right.
Like, your boss is going to tell you to do something, but you tell your mind that you're going to start working out and getting in shape, and you don't do it. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you respect yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, do that. Make a plan, figure out what you got to do, and then execute it. And don't just think a big plan like, oh, I want this. I want $1 million or whatever. Okay, let's spend. How much are you making now? Right? How much can you put aside each month or each check? Okay, how long would that take you to get $1 million? Oh, it's gonna take you 30, let's say 60 years to get to $1 million. Do you want to get it faster? Yes. Okay. What do you have to do to put away more money? Maybe spend less. Can you be a little more frugal? If that's not an option because you're living paycheck to paycheck, maybe start a side job. You can DoorDash. Because I used to DoorDash. I used to do it's pretty much DoorDash. It was called Favor. It's in Texas, but it's basically DoorDashing. I used to do that on the side to have extra money to put aside to save, stuff like that. But you're gonna have to sacrifice, and you're gonna hustle. That's what it is. You're gonna have to hustle. The third thing I would say is, and this is, I think it's just as important as hustling, is finding you time.
Oh, yes.
Hustling and grinding is great, but you do need some type of mental break, a way to escape and get away from that. That's why I work out. That's one reason why I go to gym. The reason why I feel like I'm always in a good mood, and for the most part stress-free. Sometimes I add stress to my life on purpose, just because it's good to have some type of stress. I don't like smooth sailing through shit. I try to
challenge yourself.
Yeah, I try to challenge myself. Yeah, that's what I mean by add stress. Some people hear that and be like, "Well, you're crazy." No, I try to challenge myself in something to create some type of stress, quote unquote, to better myself. Whether it's a physical challenge for my YouTube, where I'm trying to do, or whether it's a challenge like this year for Shoe Palace, I did 550,000 in sales last year. This year, I want 60K. Now, I'm not just gonna get 60K by bullshit. I'm gonna have to grind to get pretty much to go an extra 50,000 in sales in the same amount of time. I gotta go to that next level. So that's what I'm trying to do. So when I go to work, I'm in a different gear than I was last year, because I want to hit $600,000 in sales. Yeah. Right, for the company. But something like that. But again, that's why I go to the gym, because the gym, when I'm in the gym, that's my therapy.
It's just me.
Right. Work, school, none of that shit matters. It's me in this weight, and I'm meditating when I work out. I'm stress-free. I don't think about work. I don't think about school. I don't think about needing this paper done. I don't think about these deadlines. It's just me in the gym. I'm relieving stress, and when I come out of the gym, I feel great. I take a hot bath before I get my day started, and when I get out there, I am ready to go. I'm ready for the day. I'm in a great mood. Find whatever video games. I also tell people video games is good for you if you have a long day. There's nothing better than getting on the game, relaxing, getting your mind away for everything, and just for an hour or 2 or 30 minutes, whatever it is, you're able to just sit back, relax, and just enjoy yourself doing something you like. I think that's vitally important because people are working themselves to death. People are working themselves into depression, stress, and anxiety. Find something
that might be the environment they're working in.
Right, exactly. So something that allows you to relax, stress-free, and just disconnect from the hardships of life. And then what'd you just say again?
What?
The environment. I want to throw a fourth one in because that reminded me. When you go to work or when you go to environments that's stressful or you might dread, try to make it fun. When I go into Shoe Palace, I try to make it to where not just me, because I'm in a position of power as an assistant manager there, I want everybody to be, I know it's hard because it is work, but I try to make an environment where people aren't dreading to come into work. Like they know I'm working, I want them to be like, oh, I gotta go to work. Oh, does Finis working today? Oh, okay. Like
Finis working? Okay, it's gonna be a good shift.
I want it to feel like, oh, it's not so bad because he's working, because he's gonna make it a good environment. He's gonna make it fun. I try to have fun. I laugh. I joke around with customers. I make sure everybody's okay. I be dancing and whatever. You know what I'm saying? We be, whenever it's appropriate, we like talk it up. If it's not busy, whatever. I try to make anywhere, school, UTSA, I try to make every environment that I'm in not only enjoyable for me, but for everybody. Because if everybody enjoys going to work, productivity is going to go up. We're going to sell more. We're going to be in better moods. We're going to treat customers better if everybody's having fun in that environment. So that's another one I wanted to throw in there since you had mentioned that, kind of registered with me. But anything else you want to throw in before we hit these wings?
Oh, these wings better be good.
We've been eating chicken since we got here.
Just
wings.
Straight chicken, hot wings.
We had Wingstop before earlier today. We're finna go hit a wing spot today. We've been just eating so much chicken, but
hey man, gains. I'm not big as him. I'm still skinny gang over here, but I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there soon.
Bro, let me put you on a macro.
Huh?
Count your calories and put you on some macros, where you count your total calories, your fat, protein, and carbs.
Is that a lot of work?
No,
I'm just being honest. How does that work?
So,
do I have to get the nutrition facts off of whatever I eat? Like how
you can search it.
Okay.
So, for this, I'm a personal trainer. If you guys want to go to your Google Play Store or your Apple Store and download IV Fitness, it's an IV Fitness. That's my fitness app. I will actually, if you put in your goal, it's a questionnaire. You'll fill it out, put in your goals. I will personally do your macros for you and put it on there. It's gonna be all on your phone. The macro plan it's only $5 a month. I do all the stuff for you, and all you do is search up the food you eat, you type it in, and it's gonna have your numbers for you. But yeah, I can set you up on that.
Yeah, set me up.
And then we can get.
I come back, he be like, "Cat, what the fuck?"
We're gonna do the LA podcast. You be sitting on.
Just,
bro, I'm not gonna fake it. You have the frame. You could probably get into like powerlifting.
I don't think I would want to do that.
No,
though.
I know that, but I'm just saying, based on your frame, because I've been in this so long, I can look at someone's frame and I can tell how much muscle mass they can put on, naturally, how much they can put on. Bro, you could be a walking monster with your frame.
That's the thing, though. I don't want to be like, I don't want to be big like Nick. Nick is huge.
I could get you that big. I don't know.
I don't want to be that big though.
But that's your macro. Getting that big, it's all how much you eat. Most of that's how much you eat. But I can get you to whatever weight you're trying. I can get you there.
Because right now I bounce around from 185 to 190. To be honest, I want to be realistically like
215,
215, 210, something like that. I feel like that would look. It would look right. I feel like if I get any bigger, it won't be.
No, with your frame, you could probably get up to 225 and still not be too clunky. Because you're long.
Yeah, that's true.
You're linky. Pause. I'm saying with your frame with long arms, you can put on weight without it getting too bulky because you have long tendons and muscle fibers. They're long.
When I was like really like when I came down to San Antonio and everything, I think I got up to like 198, and that was me like eating consistently, eating clean and everything. Like protein and everything, and then I just don't know what I think I got COVID and I was out for like 2 weeks.
That had to do it too.
And I was just like, I'm just now, I was going back into the gym. It was like, I'll go 1 week for like, 5 days, the next week like 3. It wasn't consistent.
Right.
Now I'm starting to, I think the past like month, I've been going consistently for like 5 days and everything.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing that I say I struggle with is eating when I need to, because work is just crazy sometimes.
Right.
Like I'm doing all this stuff.
And you like have to skip a meal?
I have to. It's not skip a meal. It's like I just
don't have time to eat a lot.
I just don't have. I don't have a long time frame to eat. So like
so it's
I'll say
quick. So something small.
Shit. So like let's say like my lunch is at like 11:30. Like we get like an hour-long lunch break. Sometimes like work is so busy, I'm just like I can't afford to take that hour and 30-minute break and then come back to work. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather just knock it out like while I'm in the zone and everything. So usually when that happens, I usually tend to leave work a little bit earlier because like I work through my lunch and everything. And that's the thing I think that's bad, especially getting up. I'm getting up in the morning early to go work out and everything. So right after that, I have about like an hour, 30 minutes to eat, get ready for work and everything. Right. What I think I need to start doing is literally while I'm making my breakfast and everything, packing like a sandwich or something. Like
you don't pack a lunch?
I usually don't, because what I usually do, like if I do leave work early, I just go straight home and eat, go to the gym.
Right.
Go to the gym if I didn't make it in the morning. What I need to start doing is just start bringing stuff with me to where if it does, where I do have to work through lunch, I just got to go to the back room, grab it out the fridge.
And then you can eat and work at the same time?
Yeah, it's stuff like that. It's just the simple things, man. It's just a routine I just got to get into.
Are you drinking shakes?
Yeah, I am drinking shakes.
How many? One?
One right now.
If you up it to 2, that'll make all the difference.
Really?
My biggest thing, so my weight plateaued. So I got up to 205, and then I kind of cut down a little bit, and now I'm going back up. So I'm back up basically like 202-ish, 203. Mm-hmm. But when I dropped down, I was starting to redo my macros because, this is before I started counting calories. Mm-hmm. So this is like way before I started counting calories. My pro day, 2018, when I was done with football, I weighed in exact 180, right? Mm-hmm. Which is that's the lightest I'd been in a minute. When I first got to Mizzou, I was 165, light as shit, fast as fuck, 4'2". But then in SEC football, at corner or defense, you're not going to be able to compete at 160. Receivers out there throwing you around.
Yeah.
You got guys like DK Metcalf out there. They'll throw you around. So the reason why I redshirt is not really because of my skills, because I was too light, right? So I had to, we're both naturally ectomorphs. You know what that is? So ectomorph is a body type. And so that means if you stop working out, you're naturally going to get skinnier. Mm-hmm. Right now I'm 205. If I stop working out for a month, I'll drop back down to 175. Mm-hmm. Easy. No problem with this. I'll shed weight. Mm-hmm. And so it's hard for us to gain muscle mass just because our natural body type. Mm-hmm. So what I did is I thought I was eating enough. I was like, oh man, I'm eating all this food, yada yada. So I was like, you know what? I need to start counting my calories because I don't know for sure how far off I am from hitting numbers I need to hit. Mm-hmm. So I started counting my macros, and I figured out I needed to be eating. So I was trying to get up to 190. So I need to eat 190 grams of protein. It's basically 1 gram per pound of body weight. Mm-hmm. So I was counting. When I first started counting, I realized I was only eating 150 grams. I was shorting myself 40 grams of protein every day, every week. Mm-hmm. Well, if you're running at a negative on your protein every week, you're gonna lose weight. Yeah. Your muscle mass is gonna go down. Yeah. So now I was like, okay, I need to up. So if I'm trying to get to 190 and I'm 180, let's up it to 190 grams, and I make sure I hit 190 grams. So eventually I got up to 190 pounds. Now let's up it to 200 grams of protein. Mm-hmm. So you up it 200, I got to 200 pounds. Right now I upped it to 215. But I've gotten so good at I can just look at a piece of meat and I can pretty good actually how many grams of protein that meat has. Mm-hmm. And so now I've upped it to 215 grams because by December I want to be 215. But now I've gotten so good to where I'm usually 250. Mm-hmm. I'm usually way up because that number for ectomorphs, that number of protein, that's our minimum. Mm-hmm. That's your bare minimum you need to be hitting. Let's say we'll probably, what are you right now, do you think?
Like 185.
So I'll probably put you at 195 to start off. That 195 grams per, that's your bare minimum. You need to eat 195. That's to maintain, essentially. So once you get to 195, we'll up the protein some more. And then once we get to, like, let's say we decide your goal weight's 210 or 220 or whatever, we'll keep it at 210, and then we'll just keep it there, and you'll just maintain that muscle mass at 210.
How big does creatine factor into this too?
Oh, creatine is probably one of the most important supplements you can take.
Okay. Because I used to be on creatine. I stopped doing that, which I need to get back on. I didn't know how important it is. So that's why.
Vitally. Even if you don't train, you should take creatine. It's actually really great for cognitive function. Yes, it's shown very, very good benefits for just cognitive function. Being able to just focus and memory and decision making, and just being able to think clearly. Creatine's fantastic for it. There's some studies. I don't want to say it's not
proven.
Right,
yet.
It's not proven yet, but there are a lot of studies being done. People with dementia and Alzheimer's, they're getting those people, or people that are showing early signs of it, they're getting them to start take creatine to slow down the effects of it, because it's really good at your brain's functionality, all that good stuff. But we can talk about that, because we can literally just do a whole podcast on that. Because I'm writing a book on this, so I'm balls deep into all the research and studies.
Bet, say less.
But I'll hook you up on that.
Right.
But that's gonna be all it for anything. Last things words you want to say before we sign off?
Nah, man. Just come to Portland. Come out here, have some fun.
Oh yeah, it's been a great trip. And
one thing I will say, I don't know how about the nightlife, because we didn't go out and party like that, so I can't speak on that too much. But it's in a college town, so I would say it would be pretty.
Yeah, I'm sure. Especially city center, when we were driving, there's
there's hella bars.
Yeah, tons. But that's gonna be all for us for Uncle Strib, and appreciate you guys for watching or listening. Again, I should do this in the beginning, but I always forget. But if you guys like this content, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Reach out to me. Instas or socials.
Insta, I don't know. I think it's YK_C_Will. That's my Instagram. Twitter, I really don't use Twitter that much.
Okay. And then podcast Instagram is IV Talks Podcast. That's also the same for TikTok. If you guys want to follow that, you can look up IV Talks on any of your podcast platforms. YouTube is also IV Talks Podcast. And then my personal Instagram for fitness stuff is FLS4Swag. My Snapchat, which I do a lot of my coaching through Snapchat, is FLS_IV. Again, I appreciate you guys for listening or watching. We'll catch you guys next time. It's been Uncle Strib. We are out. Oh yeah.
That was pretty solid.
I'm gonna chase my dreams. My life